All right, here is November 2nd. A little delay on this. I'll also do November 3rd's Fridays, and then I'll do a weekly recap. I will be gone next week, so I'm not going to do any videos or any recaps. So good luck, but I'll probably do in the weekly recap sort of my thoughts of what could happen and just areas of interest. So anyway, so you can see that you had FOMC that was yesterday on Wednesday. And remember on the left, you see on my chart, these are 30-minute candles with a 4-hour overlay. So 30-minute candles, and then these bigger candles are 4 hours. And then these lines are the multi-day ATR. So far at the beginning of the week, I'll go into that in the weekly video, but at least yesterday's, you need to understand that that was a measured move. You see from here, from the open, it was 162. It consolidated, and then it was afternoon. It was 162 points, and it was pretty wild. Just because of the moves, they ended up shooting it up and shooting it back down, and then reversing, the last hour. So FOMC is a lot. It's a lot more challenging play, and you have to really. It's a whole nother strategy, but. Going into Thursday, November 2nd, the recap. So you don't see this very often, but when you do, you just have to be aware of how to play it. So what did we do? We opened strong, well above the mid-range pivot. So again, on those ATRs, you have the previous day close, bear trigger, the bull trigger, and then mid-range, and then the +1 ATR. Everything in between are fib levels, and you can see how price reacted around them. So this chart are 5-minute candles with 30-minute overlay candles. So you can see we opened up in the first 15 minutes. We shot up and then shot down, and then this was about 9 o'clock was right here, Central Time. We dipped down, and then I had a strong recovery before the first hour. So a lot of times range is set. Oh, I say range. Setups are set within that first hour. That's why it's super critical. If you would have just held for that first hour and waited, it would shake all these people out, and then you see what it ended up doing. It came above, back above. That period ended, and then the rest of the day never came back below. So this was a look below and fail, and you see how this 30-minute candle closed above, and then so did this 30-minute candle closed above. So that tells you this is a strong support for the day. And sure enough, if you held, that was the full move, about close to 100 points from here to here. So the mid-range, and then let's take a look at where the 12 o'clock, the morning session ended. Morning session ended right here. So right after that new TPO, we popped above, and then we never came back below. So one could have got long right here and help for the day. So on days like this, when you sort of see that there's low range, especially in the morning, unless a major level breaks, like say for instance, if this 912 level broke in the afternoon, you would want to see that break right at 12. So this needed to come down. This around 11 or so, turn back around, and then we break below here at 12 o'clock. If we did, and we stayed below here at that 12:30 mark, then the rest of the afternoon you could be targeting a gap fill and possibly down into this bull pivot. But anytime you see this, this is what we considered as very rare, but it's usually you see this with momentum plays when it's continuation, where you have an opening above this mid-range, and then your target is going to be that full ATR. Remember, we've already made some pretty massive moves. So the other way you can look at this is the TA. So remember in the past how important certain levels were. So remember right here last week, or I believe this was October 23rd, beginning of last week. You see how it was struggling to get above that a certain level. Let's see. I'll draw a line right here, 855. So that's super important when you see how it tapped 3 times and never got above. It tells you that that's a strong resistance until proven otherwise. So what did we do? We actually opened right well above, and we came down and almost retested that breakout. So mere fact that we were above here, I would have been long the entire day, anything above this line, period. And for this line to not, so when you hit, when anytime you have a major support or resistance, if you ever see it sort of dip below barely, or like hover around and dip below, and then you're like chasing and getting anything, it's not gonna happen. Normally, if this was gonna fail, it was gonna fail quick. It would have gone down, and it just would have kept on slicing through, and that would have been a look above and fail. But anytime you open up above a major resistance or support, then that is you could probably about 90 to 95% with certainty use that as a major level for the day. And you can see, hindsight, how this day played. So again, morning session, you can see it was low range, but if you just played, I mean, you could have got in, short here, sold, and then the mere fact that you see this candle not clearing back over and we came back below, you could have shorted here and then waited, sold into this push down here, or you could have just kept on moving your stop, and then the moment you get stopped out, you take a break and see what ends up happening. The moment you see this break back above a critical pivot and VWAP, you can pretty much load the boat. Load the boat, go long, and just wait. And I probably would have got out right here and then waited. This needed to have a forceful push. The mere fact that we made new highs right here, this needed a push and then hold above here and then keep going the rest of the morning. The mere fact that it actually came back down and was chopping around below here showed that it was weak. And sure enough, the rest of the afternoon, you can see this was right here, 10:30. Remember the rule, are you making new highs at 10:30? And you didn't. So the European closed right here, and so you can see the rest of the morning it just didn't have enough momentum to go above. If we closed above this pivot or this fib right here at 10:30, then you could have had a slow grind up to here. So pretty easy day, just low range, but you also got to remember, there was those FOMC the day before. So a lot of times when you have a high volatility, then the next day you might have some consolidation, and then the next day then you'll have potential more high volatility. So I'll go ahead and make a video for Friday, November 3rd, but this would be considered a mid-range to +1 ATR play for the day setup, and it was pretty clean. So good luck.